All right, here we go. As we're heading into the back stretch and toward that checkered flag, I bring out Best in Show. That's Ivey, of course. Ivey, good morning. We had a great weekend. It was lovely.
Good morning, Steve. It was a lovely weekend, relaxing, tried to stay in after the snowstorms rolled through.
We didn't really stay in yesterday, though. We went for a big, long trudge with the dogs and our daughter and went out, and it was snowing hard, and it was kind of fun walking around there at the park. Anyhow.
It was beautiful. Yeah. I love outdoor activities in the wintertime.
It was good. What do you got today? I heard you saying something about a lawyer who was, causing things to smash and explode and what? I didn't quite understand.
There's a former stunt woman who turned personal injury attorney, staged car crashes for profit.
Really? So that was kind of her job, create fake accidents, and then she did it as an attorney?
Yeah, actually, she was known for her work as a stunt woman in films like Jurassic World and Dawn of the Planet Apes. Dawn of the Planet Apes. And I'm thinking of myself, you probably made some pretty good money here. Why did you have to become a fraudster? Did you think you could really pull it off?
More money. So what was the scheme? What was the scam?
Well, so her name is Vanessa Mata. She is facing federal charges for allegedly orchestrating the schemes in New Orleans. She and her fiance and a group of slammers who were professional drivers who would intentionally collide with 18-wheelers, and then they would flee the scene of the accident. And then she would file personal injury lawsuits, and she got busted for this. And just kind of like, maybe this is not, she lost her law license. Probably not the best way to go about doing business.
I'm guessing, no, that's not a fair way to go. But, here's the thing. If she was good at it, maybe she wasn't very good at it. Maybe that's why she doesn't work on movies anymore, because she's getting busted.
Perhaps.
The illusion was failing. She must have made some money along the way, though.
You would think so. They didn't. Fox News didn't report exactly how much money she had won in these cases, but she's first of all, she's lost her law license, and she's likely to go to prison for fraud. So, probably not the best choice.
You said she was a lawyer?
She was a lawyer, yeah.
Is she going to represent herself, do you think?
Probably.
Probably unadvisable.
And that'd be quite a stunt. Just moan for that one,
But I actually have some pretty interesting things. I always love to read about, and I'm fascinated with upcoming technology. Probably about 10 years ago, I read a book about kind of upcoming things, and it's kind of interesting to look back to see if those things actually came to fruition. But what do you think about this? 3D printed bones. So if you break something, you break your skull, they just cannot, fix it. Then they come and they 3D print your bone, and they go in and they surgically place it in.
What's the material?
Well, it has to be, I don't know.
Something compatible. Well, I would assume something that the body wouldn't reject. That's fascinating. So if you bust your femur and your leg's just ruined, or you have a crush injury, like I crushed my leg, 8 years ago now. If
it needed surgical repair, then
or it was not surgically repairable. Maybe that's the point they're making. If your bones are, pulverized because you're in a car accident or something, that's fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what the material is. So you 3D print your femur or whatever bone you break, which for me is many. Interesting. I like that idea.
Here's another one. That's something I think you would find very interesting, which is self-repairing concrete through nanotechnology.
Concrete, like our driveway.
Yeah.
Repairs itself.
Wouldn't that be
we have a
something
12-year-old.
good for the roads? Fix the darn roads. Wouldn't that be amazing? It could self-repair. We wouldn't have this pothole situation.
Yeah, if potholes could fix themselves, wouldn't that be the greatest? I would pay for that.
I figured you'd be interested in that one.
Yeah. That's fascinating. Self-repairing. I don't even understand. I can't even conceive how that would work.
Right, and actually, doctors and scientists have been studying the use of nanotechnology for health and well-being, and going in and fighting cancer. So they implant these very molecular, really piece of device, and it goes in and it attacks the cancer cells, or goes and does all sorts of things. But the same thing can be true for concrete. So it's kind of interesting. We'll see what that kind of technology.
But cancer cell, that's a living thing. The concrete's, it's an inanimate.
Well, if you think about the structure of concrete, yes, it gets hard, but it's still made up of all these microscopic things that then become hard, right? So and water, and what is the other makeup of concrete? You probably know this.
Ground stone, it's
right.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
I need Brother Shane for the expert advice on what concrete is or isn't.
And how about this? Okay, here's another one that I just find like really futuristic.
All right.
Stadiums could be programmed to provide new seating on demand.
I like that.
So
this seat sucks.
But I think it's too, like how does that actually work? Is that like a massive 3D printer that comes and 3D prints seats, and sets them down and can expand a stadium and contract a stadium? And it's kind of interesting, actually, how that would really work. But this is the way of the future. Can you imagine? It's kind of like when you think about 2025, it does seem very futuristic.
Well, and think about where, we talked about this before. More has happened the last 10 years than probably happened the last 10,000 in many ways.
And more is going to happen in the next 5 years.
Exactly. The acceleration continues, the quickening, as I call it. The quickening continues, and that's in all aspects of life. We see it every day, of course, in the news cycle, the quickening as things continue. But I think it's going to be 3D, I don't think it'll be 3D printed Steve. It'll just be 3D Steve, holographic Steve talking to you or you talking to me.
Right.
I think I think you'd stand
I wonder
here.
if our listeners and audience would be interested in this, like having a holographic Steve pop up in their room. I can interact with them. We can go back and forth. It's like a live, but you're holographically in their room, which I find interesting.
A 3D version.
I'm sure Anthony would really love that.
Yeah,
so give him a hug.
Steve, if you show up in my bedroom, I don't know, man.
Do you need a hug?
A 3D holographic.
Actually, yeah. Let's send it. Let's go for it.
Well,
okay, one more right before we run out of time. How about robots that can read your mind and, hey, clean the house. I need this and this and this done. Do it.
Yeah, clean the house.
It can turn pretty, Terminator-esque very quickly.
Yeah, that's
but
what
we'll
frightens
see.
me anyhow.
Thank you,
cool
Steve.
stuff.
Yeah,
cool
it's
stuff.
interesting.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break. Final thoughts after this.